lights. These are all a bit perish, impact damage from stones and rocks and things like that. All the coolant crossover pipes at the front, which are quite common.
I'm in a little bit of shock actually. Hi everyone, welcome to Nightfall.Drives. Doug here, and today you join me in the newest member of my collection, the 2005 Porsche Boxster S 3.2. Of course in dark blue, and I was hoping to introduce you to it on a lovely sunny day, but obviously the British weather has turned, and today I'm on my way to Renn Works to get it serviced and checked over, and so obviously booked it in, had to come out today, and we'll find out today if I bought well or bought a pup. But why the Boxster, and why this Boxster in particular? Well, I've had MX-5s for on and off 20 years basically. I've replaced my NC2 BBR Super 200. I'd had that car 5 years or so, 5 or 6 years, and over that time I modified it, but I got to a point where I didn't want to do any more to it, and then I started thinking, well, where do I go from here? And there were, I must admit, occasionally some strange noises from the passenger seat relating to comfort and refinement on longer trips. So I started thinking, well, variety is the spice of life. Maybe I've had my 2 decades with MX-5s, Mark 1s and Mark 3s. Let's move on, let's try something different. I'm probably going to regret it. I regretted selling all my MX-5s, but let's try something different. I'm lucky enough to be able to have 2 sporty cars, because I didn't sell the MX-5 when I got the Lotus Evora, and the Evora remains my flagship, the car I bought with my heart. Bit of a left field choice, and so the convertible, I thought, let's apply ruthless logic to this. Let's forget any preconceptions, let's just look at what it is. So what I wanted was the MX-5 plus 20% of grown-upness, refinement, comfort, performance, luxury even. So what are your options for that? Well, you've got obviously a Boxster, you've got BMW Z4, you've got Audi TT, Nissan 370, something like those 2-seater convertibles. And if you take away anything that you know about them, any image concerns or anything, only one of those is mid-engined with an engine configuration I've never owned, flat 6, from a reputable sports car maker, and weirdly the best value of the lot. So yeah, MX-5 to Boxster is not a groundbreaking buying decision, but it just felt like the most sensible thing to do, and I was buying this car with my head. So then the reason the Boxsters are cheaper, I think everyone knows there are engine issues with older Porsches, this era in particular, but if you're careful and choose the right one, I think you can minimise the risk. And what I've done is gone for one of the oldest 3.2s that you can get, so 987.1 generation, 2005, also late 2005, so this is a November build or registered, which means, I think it means it's got the later IMS, and you need to get that confirmed, but towards the end of 05, start of 06, they upgraded the IMS, and then if you get one that's pre 23rd of March 2006, you can benefit from the lower road fund license. So that's the sweet spot I found after researching a bit. Minimise the risk of the engine problems, but also wanted a 987 for the looks and the interior upgrades. So, and then this particular example is 47,000 miles on the clock. It's been serviced at the right mileages, not the right times. It's not ideal, but it's in remarkable condition. Lovely condition, no wear and tear signs anywhere. There's a little bit of a mark on the paint where I think a cat has run over the back or something, but I didn't rush into it. I just waited for the right spec and what seemed like the right condition, right mileage. Not such low mileage that it's suspicious and problems might not have come to the surface, you know. So hopefully we'll find out today that there's nothing major to worry about. But I'm on my way to Renn Works near Stevenage, and they're a Porsche and McLaren specialist, quite near to me, and it's getting the service it needs. Probably another reason why it was just 1k more than what I sold the Mazda for. So it's 9750. It did need a service, just a minor one we think, plus spark plugs and brake fluid. The guys at Renn Works are also going to check it out and see if there's anything evident of other known issues with these. So I'm going to drop it off with them and catch up with them later and have a look underneath. Hi Matt, Matt at Renn Works. Cool place you got here. How long have you been there?
Oh, so we've been in this building for about 5 years or so, but Porsches, it'll be 30 years next year. So yeah, I've been here a long time, since the mid-90s, apprenticeship with Porsche, and I've been here with a lot of the sort of best specialists in the UK, and about 10 years ago set up my own business, and yeah, we've landed in this fantastic little unit here. So yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
really
yeah.
That's it. Also, Porsche and McLaren together is a unusual combo.
Exactly. So Sam, who fixes the McLarens, who works on the McLarens, he was a Porsche tech for about 15 years at the main dealer over in Hatfield, and took the step across to McLaren main dealer. They're also in the same place down in Hatfield. So he just thought, you know, he's got the same experience, he's got sort of experience with the McLarens like he's with the Porsches, so we thought we'd bring the two brands together. So he's predominantly busy now just with McLarens, so it's leaving the rest of the team to do the Porsches, but it's a lovely mix. I think the cars go together really well, to be fair. Yeah.
That's interesting to have a look around. But
yep.
Yeah, for today though, thanks for taking a look at my
no problem. So I mean,
how have you found it?
It's actually a really lovely car. I think it's probably had quite a sheltered life. Looks like it's probably been garaged for most of its life, so the usual sort of corrosion related issues that we can see, things like brake pipe, shock absorbers, all this sort of stuff, is pretty good under there. So picked up a few little bits and bobs, nothing too drastic. I think it was front bump stops looking a little bit perished, tiny little bit of corrosion on the base of the front shock absorbers, but very minor. So we can take care of that. It was the exhaust nuts were starting to corrode slightly. They were, I think, our only notes, but the rest of the car was absolutely, tip top. It's really lovely.
That's a relief.
Yeah, it's just a case of a bit of maintenance to just protect the bits that we found. But yeah, it's very nice. So we can, I'll show you around the underneath, and we can have a little look. Yeah. Again, I've been around all of the wheels, feeling for play, anything like that. That's all good. Checked all the bushes, all the lower arms, all that sort of stuff. That's perfect. All the coil springs, no broken springs or anything like that. Yeah. It was the front suspension bump stops.
Oh yeah.
See, these are all a bit perished.
Yeah, just age, I guess, isn't it?
It is age related. So what we tend to do, I mean, the tops of the shock absorbers are a little bit corroded, but we can deal with that. But it would be a case of replacing the bump stops, these little dust covers. Got to take the top mounts off to replace those. So we end up we'd put a new set of top mounts, bearings, and bump stops. Do that as a sort of job, all those bits together. But that's pretty standard to see.
Yeah, I've seen
So
worse.
yeah, that's it. I've seen worse. Yeah, and it's exactly the same both sides. So that's really the only issues that we found with the front suspension.
When do you think we should?
I mean, look, it's not desperate. We haven't got creaking or play in the top mounts. The springs are all in good order, and the dampers are fine.
Yeah.
So effectively, these only really they're just designed for if you impact a speed bump very hard, it stops the over compression of the damper. So they're not desperate to be done. It's more to, but it's
Maybe next time round.
maybe next time round. I mean, even for MOT purposes, I don't believe this is they even pick these up on an MOT because it's. But it would be nice to get it done maybe next time you're in.
Yeah.
It would certainly look a bit prettier once they're done. All your brakes and everything are perfect. Plenty of life in the pad.
I think so.
That's it. And we've changed the brake fluid with Castrol SRF,
Yeah.
which takes it's a high temperature, high boiling point, good for track days, good for race cars in actual fact, and it also gives you a better pedal feel. It takes some of that squidge out of the brake pedal. So great little upgrade. So you'll probably like that.
I'm looking forward to seeing that because I've found that as the main difference with the brakes. They're more progressive than I'm used to. And,
that's it.
And I probably will be taking on track at some point. One of the protection from the heat, but if it improves the feel.
Well, I think you'll get in the car, you'll leave here, and you'll feel the difference straight away. I'd say every time we put SRF fluid in a car, we get feedback immediately, saying that the pedal just feels firmer, less travel, less squidge. So hopefully. That'll be a nice little upgrade for you.
That's the sort of weak point of the system.
That's it.
The diffs and everything are really good anyway. So.
Yeah. That was it. So I think we cleaned out quite a lot of leaves and debris from your from your air scoops. They were full up with huge leaves, bits of cardboard. There was all sorts. I think old cigarette packet came out of one side. So we cleaned all of those out for you as part of the part of the service.
Extra mesh or something to put here. Or...
You can get. There's a couple of different brands of grills that you can get. You can get the ones that clip in sort of from the front. I think made by Zoom Sport. Renn line makes some grills that fit in from behind, or you can sort of custom make your own when the bumper's off. But it just stops the leaves and the debris building up in the corners, which stays damp, especially in the winter, and eats away at the radiators and the aircon condensers, and obviously stops impact damage from stones and rocks and things like that. So, but all in all, I think the rads look to be in good condition, and do the and the same with the aircon condensers, and the aircon appears to be working fine as well. Which
it works it seems to work well. There is a bit of a noise sometimes, I think that's fairly typical. And,
I think you sometimes you get a noise. Sometimes when you initially switch it on, you'll hear the first sort of whoosh of the aircon as it comes on, but it should then quieten down. If you are hearing a prolonged noise, that could indicate that the gas is maybe slightly low, or grumbling or hissing behind the dashboard. So if you're hearing that, it might be time to keep an eye on that one. So that was that. Everything else just on rear suspension was perfect. Didn't find anything with brake pipes or anything like that. All the coolant crossover pipes at the front, which are quite common, they must have been replaced at some point. So they're fantastic. They're all very, very good. So no issues with those. I'll show you underneath quickly. So again, tyres are all good, plenty of tread. I think they're all dated 2022, which is still sort of, you're okay there on age. We say sort of 6 years really is when they're really starting to go off, but you've got plenty of tread, and you're still...
Actually, this morning was the first wet drive I'd done in it. They were quite good, but I did have a little bit of spin coming away from the junction.
Yeah.
A lot of the ones on the market had 15-year-old tyres.
Which is just nuts to say. Anything after about 6 years, you can just feel they lose all them sort of that lovely sort of grippy property, and they actually get quite hard, and you start to see the cracks around the edges. But your tyres are all good, and I say they're good for another good few thousand miles. So that's good news.
You mentioned brake pipes. That's one of the things, obviously, going on track. I want to be careful with.
So common things that tricky to see, but you've got sort of in between this little gap up here. You've got your hard metal brake pipes to your calipers. They're quite common that they're corroded. Yours are in perfect condition, so you've got no issues with your brake pipes. I've also lowered this under the under tray here. You've got some brake pipes that travel front to rear. They're a common area for corrosion. I've dropped this little tray down, had a little investigation under there, and they will appear to be good as well. So that's good. Same with all four corners. Brake pipes look good. Brake pipes around the body to the flexi hoses, so you've got no concerns with that. And also to note, when we've done your brake fluid change, all of the little bleed nipples on the brake calipers cracked off and came undone very easily, which is unusual. We're normally, they're normally seized or lack of brake fluid changes. So,
I'm
so
starting
again,
to feel bad that maybe I need to try and find space in the garage for it.
yeah. So I mean, it clearly has. You can, I mean, I can just tell by looking at things like the arms and the arm bushes and the brake pipes and all of these sort of things that it's definitely been living in a garage. Things like these exhaust clamps. It's quite often to see little cracks appearing in these clamps and corrosion. So they've probably been replaced at some point, or again, it's just had a sheltered life. They're all in really good condition. I did pick up, you might see it if you look up here, these little nuts up here.
Oh, yeah.
They're your exhaust flange nuts, so they look a little bit messy. It's pretty standard to see. They're actually still quite solid, so we're not quite there to replace those, but maybe this time next year we should think about doing...
Yeah, well, the exhaust is a whole other story, so I probably want to do something to it.
Yeah.
And, it sounds really good with the roof up, but when you put the roof down, it's sort of like insulation over the intake sound.
Yeah, so you think you'd want to sort of maybe go for like a stainless system, maybe? I mean, there's options to...
still looking into it.
Because you've got secondary cats in this, these silencers, so they mute some of the sound, and obviously then they actually stop some of the flow as well, so they can hinder performance slightly. So any system that you get will probably have the secondary cats deleted. You still keep your cats on your manifold, so you're still fine for MOTs. Exactly. But there's various systems with switchable, so you can have a little fob in the car to make them loud and quiet. There's a couple of different brands. There's a chap that we use in Belgium that takes the original exhaust system and actually takes these secondary cats out.
Carnewal.
Yeah, that's it. They go over there, so we use them quite often. And
I was going to ask about that because I've seen it. Because if the exhaust is good.
The exhaust is good. Yeah. There's no corrosion around the top of your exhaust, so it's good enough that this one could be fettled with. So basically, cuts them open, takes the secondary cats out, welds them back up, so you effectively get an original exhaust which fits well and obviously looks the part, and it just releases some sound and also a touch more performance. So that's a nice little upgrade.
Your experience with the sound level of those is
it's not a huge amount more. It's subtle. It's enough that you can tell that something's changed, but you're not going to offend your next door neighbours.
Sounds about what I'm looking for. Just a little bit more.
That's it. And I say the beauty of anything genuine as well, because it's on the genuine system, they just fit properly. So that's nice for us.
Yeah.
Some of the aftermarket stuff, it's you're fiddling around, it runs really close to the body, and the flanges don't quite line up properly, and so it's nice to work with genuine stuff, and that's a good option.
Yeah.
Definitely. So I think it wasn't really a great deal to report. So we've done your brake fluid change. We also upgraded your little air scoops, didn't we, at the front for you?
So this is the truck in mind as well.
That's it.
Straightforward.
So these are 997 GT3 sort of air scoops that feed the brakes with air. It's just a slightly different design than you do have them on there as a standard fitment, but these are just a slightly upgraded design. They scoop slightly more air and they work slightly more effective, and it's a cheap little upgrade. I think one's about a tenner or £10 something, and the other one's half of that price, about £4 or something like that. It's ridiculously cheap for a genuine part.
Yeah,
exactly.
And the rear brakes, I don't think there's quite as many options for something as easy as that.
No, so you can get I think there's some cooling ducts that can clip onto the lower arms, which are from GT4s, I do believe, that you can be adapted to fit. But there are a few options out there. But Porsche, there was nothing actually portable. I don't think anything that Porsche sell for this particular model that would just be a straight sort of bolt-on.
I've seen a picture on the forum somewhere of a homemade an intake somebody's put around here and a pipe or something. But
it's all bits. I mean, anything that helps cool the brakes, especially if you're doing lots of track days. I mean, at that point where you start to get your discs are wobbling and you're starting to get fade. I mean, good pads obviously help, good fluid helps, but to get the brakes properly cooled with cooling fins and cold air is always a good thing. So even a homemade setup, if it's if it works, why not?
Probably give it a go.
Yeah, give it a go. That's it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But all in all, very, very good. So it's had oil and filter change, had the spark plugs. We also replaced the coil packs for you.
Yeah.
So you can just if you poke up here, you can see your shiny new bolts.
Yeah.
And your new coils up there. So they've been
new design.
That's it. So they're the later design of coil. So we've done all 6 with your plugs. It's had a drive belt. It's had an air filter. It's had the pollen filter. adjusted the parking brake shoes, we've greased all the locks, checked all the levels, checked all your lights, had a proper once over. So yeah, you've had your big service, so it's now just ready to go and enjoy.
Well, thanks so much.
Yeah, no problem at all. It's been a pleasure.
A bit of a shock actually.
Yeah. But
it's major.
I'd say just a couple of those little notes, and this was what we noted on the base of the shock absorbers.
Yeah.
Just this little area here, just getting a bit crusty. Yeah. But all in all, that's pretty good. We often see that rust has crept all the way up the damper. Yeah. So I say we can take care of that. It was just a few really minor little bits and pieces, just to.
Just have a look at the coils.
Yes. So let me turn my light off there. So we've got. So you've obviously got 6 of them. I think three were not looking too bad. That one was starting to crack just here.
Oh.
Yeah. That was the worst one. One of them was pretty bad. That one there was cracking open quite bad.
Yeah, so
yeah.
The water in.
Yeah, so what happens, especially this time of year, now we're coming out of the summer and the roads are wet. As soon as water starts to penetrate inside the coil and gets into all into all the electronics in there, and you end up with a misfire. So your engine management lights on and rough running. So it was, as part of the service, we've got to remove them anyway. So you haven't paid any labour to chuck a new set of coils in. So it was a bit of a no-brainer why I was doing that. So to do that, and that prevents a misfire or conking out. There's your old drive belt. Wasn't looking in bad condition. No real cracks or anything, but
done at some point.
Yeah.
And they go with age as well as mileage, don't they? So.
Again, all your old plugs, and it's really lovely to see that all the plugs are exactly the same colour. So no signs of any sort of oil burning or anything funny going on. Old air filter, which definitely due a change. A little bit grubby in there. That's the fancy brake fluid that we put in. Yeah. So there's all your old bits.
Amazing.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, pleasure.
Brilliant. Yeah, thanks.
Good. Yeah,
appreciate it.
Anytime. No problem at all. And I hope you enjoy your first little track day experience, and it all goes well. So, and a bit of feedback on the brake fluid would be lovely. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll notice it straight away because it was so different to what I'm used to.
Yeah, brilliant. So. Yeah, good.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Pleasure. No problem.
Well, very happy with that outcome. I was prepared for the worst, and it's just the core packs that was really the only unexpected part, unless you class all the nice comments about the condition as unexpected, because I certainly wasn't. I thought 20-year-old car, good history but not perfect. I was expecting a much longer list, so very happy, and I feel safe to go on track. It's been checked out. I mean, it's not a track car, I'm not going to do it all the time, but now and again we'll take the opportunity. And I have nobody behind me. I'm going to test out the brakes. Yeah. Oh yeah, they're much more responsive actually. Yeah. Before there was kind of a dead patch the first 20% of the pedal, and it still has a progressive feel on this, but there's definitely more initial bite. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'd recommend, if you're finding the brakes a little bit funny on your 987, probably your 986 as well, try a racing brake fluid. Twice the cost of the fluid, but it's peace of mind if you do performance driving, and yeah, the feel is better. And so far, I'm really loving the Boxster. That is that MX-5 plus 20% of all those things I said, plus practicality. And the idea is that we'll do some of the longer trips in this to share the load with the Evora. So I'm looking forward to taking this on the continent up to Scotland, and yeah, having the top down in some of those places, which if the Evora was a folding hard top or soft top, that would be all the car I'd need. But there is something about convertible that having had MX-5s for so long, I just love them. So yeah, looking forward to doing that sort of thing with the Boxster. It does have the 2 boots. The front boot is really deep, and the rear boot's quite wide. So we've already tested it out a bit. It fits an awful lot of stuff in here. Probably on a par with the Evora, which I do advocate being really practical with the space behind the seats. But yeah, versus MX-5, far more practical. There are a few things that I think the MX-5 does better than this, and I'm going to miss. I could always go back to one, obviously, but the gear shift in MX-5 is incredible, particularly the Mark 1s, but NCs as well. In here, it's a little bit sloppy. It's cable shifted. It's okay though. It's precise in terms of I never haven't missed a shift. I know where they all are. I think it's fine. Just got used to it pretty quickly. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks to Matt and Sam at Renn Works. Really helpful today. Thanks a lot. So yeah, please subscribe, like, comment. Watch out for more videos on the 987 and owner stories as usual coming up. So thanks again. Cheers.